uninvited guest. The Hobbs walked silently behind Richard as he approached the castle's vast kitchen. Even after 600 years there was still a slight scent of spices, coal and smoke in the air, which Richard fondly remembered. When he pushed the old oak door open, he unconsciously expected to see the army of servants running around the bubbling cauldrons and cellar, ever obedient to fulfill the needs of their king. Harsh reality hit him in the face, however, when he saw the kitchen maids, cooks and scullions lying still. First he thought that there was no one awake in the kitchen, but then he heard a voice. "Who dares to wander into my kitchen before lunchtime? Don't you know that stealing from my kitchen is punishable by whipping? Fool." Richard turned to face the source of the grumpy voice and saw an elder hob that had judgmental sharp eyes and a white beard. Before Luddy and Sif managed to explain the situation to the kitchen's keeper, Richard replied just as angrily, "I am the king of this castle and I go wherever I please." This didn't impress the old hob and he looked at Richard with suspicion. "His Grace the King has been gone for a long time and I doubt that he will ever come back. He has, and I order you to show me some respect." Before the old hob managed to reply, Luddy and Sif hurried to explain. "Donica, he truly is the king." Luddy saw his awakening. The old hob still wasn't convinced and he measured Richard with his gaze. "If he truly is King Richard, then I'm sure he can solve our little problem." "What problem?" Richard asked. "A month or so ago a fierce thunderstorm hit the castle wall and made it crack. On the next night a forest troll came and gained entrance to the gardens. After that he broke into the larder and hasn't come out. A few brave hobs have tried to chase this gluttonous parasite away, but no luck yet. Since he managed to conquer the cellar he has been growing extra chins." Donica told him. "It seems that this troll has overstayed his welcome," Richard remarked casually. And I would be surprised if we will ever get our cellar back. I'm sure that the sluggard is so fat already that he can barely move." Donica continued bitterly. "Fear not. This troll will be gone in no time," King Richard promised. "Please your grace, take this with you," Luddy said and offered him a lit torch. Richard thanked his friend and walked down to the dark cellar. The foul stench of spoiled food and troll's filth was so overwhelming that Richard nearly fainted when he reached the bottom of the cellar's stairs. However, he fought against the sickening feeling inside his stomach and listened carefully so he could hear if the beast was somewhere close. The only sound he heard was the soft dripping of wine where someone had forgotten to close the barrel's tap. Richard bit his lip and stared bravely into the darkness. He had faced far more terrifying monsters before, so one filthy troll would not make him turn back. He walked softly through the long corridors of empty wine barrels and broken food containers, scanning the darkness. Richard remembered how his tutor had told him that usually trolls were stupid creatures, but it would not be wise to let one of them catch him by surprise. The foul stench grew stronger the deeper Richard walked and soon he heard heavy snoring ahead. After a few steps, a fat, hairy and smelly troll appeared in the light circle of the torch. He had just consumed the entire carcass of a pig and another barrel of wine. Donica hadn't exaggerated at all when he had speculated how magnificently the troll had increased his size by dining like a prince. You have fattened up nicely. But now get out of my palace. Richard shouted and threw a rotten apple towards the troll. The troll's eyes flew open and he roared in rage when he saw Richard. Come and get me, you lard ass. Richard taunted the troll. This only seemed to make the troll even angrier and he got up onto his short legs. Richard started to run towards the cellar exit while the furious troll ran after him, demolishing every shelf and cabinet he passed. Can't catch me. Richard teased and slowed his steps so he would not get too far ahead of the troll. Blinded by rage, the troll followed his tormentor right to the end of the cellar stairs and straight to the sunny kitchen garden. As soon as the beast realized he had been tricked, he tried to return to the darkness. But it was too late and he turned to stone. The Hobbs were watching the troll's demise behind the kitchen window, and as soon as it was safe they came out. "Oh mighty prince, you have finally came back to us. May the heavens smile upon your glorious being." Donica praised King Richard in tears and fell at his feet. "Don't overdo it, Master Hob. Thank the sun," Richard pointed out. "I will, your grace. I am truly sorry that I ever dared to doubt you. Will you show mercy to this old fool?" Hobbs' endless flattery amused King Richard, although he tried to look serious. "I shall show you mercy. But there is something else I would like to have from you." "Your grace probably means the dragon. I may be too old to take up arms, but my sons will serve you instead of me," Donica promised. "Indeed? How many sons you do have?" "Only a humble 100, your grace." After Richard heard the number, he whistled in amazement. "Quite a family you have. And I suppose you have as many wives as you have heirs." "No, your grace. I am an honorable Hob and have only one wife whom I have sworn to protect. I will go now and call my sons to come to join you, but if your grace pleases, go to see my younger brother in the parlor. He may also give his aid to you." "Thank you, Master Hob. I will," Richard replied the old Hob. Donica bowed and disappeared into thin air.